What's up, everyone? Welcome to the SuperThwak podcast.
Yes, we are on episode 10.
Number 10. It's kind of like a special podcast.
Yeah,
I guess.
hit a little milestone
Yeah.
for us while everybody else around us is starting to catch a disease and die.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony Stevens,
Damian Label.
and let's get off the ground real quick with some coronavirus talk.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit serious, more serious, I guess. If you kind of look at what's going on in all your local stores regarding toilet paper, especially.
Yeah, if
Missing.
you've been living under a rock,
Yeah.
then it's been interesting just to see how much people have freaked out. And we have I think Wednesday we had like 19 confirmed cases.
Now, I was looking today and we're up to 44 in Colorado.
Yeah, no, it's
So
getting ridiculous.
it's going up. And yeah, I think honestly, like, part of the problem is, like, a lot of people are like not hygienic at all in the first place.
Oh,
So,
I know. I went to a
yeah.
wrestling show with my wife and
Yeah.
Nate and his wife, and
Nice.
the people who, like, I love wrestling shows, but being around some of those fans, I was like, like, you just look like you just like woke up out of bed after
Yeah.
not showering for 3 days,
And they don't care.
No, they don't,
They
because
don't care at all.
we live in a world where everybody's first thought is themselves. They don't really care about anybody else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I was on the washing my hands thing all day, way before this even happened.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm like, I should be good. I hope.
Well, and I don't have as much of a problem with that because, like, I feel like I work with trash and portalettes and stuff like that for a living, so I'm constantly hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
washing my hands, whatever I can, because I hate feeling dirty, and
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong line of business for that.
Right.
It is insane to see how much stuff it has already affected, and it's barely reached the U.S.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's been here for like a couple weeks, maybe.
yeah, because like Wuhan, China's been shut down for a month and a half already.
Yeah,
Italy is
completely fucked right now.
there's borders are closed. No
Yeah.
one's allowed to come or go.
Yeah, there's actually a video I saw on Instagram. This guy's driving around Italy in like one of those scooter things, and completely empty. Nobody on the streets. He's just riding freely on the street, like nobody.
My brother-in-law posted a meme today. It was like everybody during the coronavirus and like the streets, highways are empty. I think it was like a picture from The Walking Dead or something. And he's like, and it's car guys is the picture below.
Oh, okay.
They're just flying like 190 down the freeway.
Dang.
Um,
It's gonna get there pretty
Oh,
soon,
yeah.
I think.
Well, apparently it's actually already started to affect oil prices.
Wow.
Because people are starting to stay at home more and stuff like that, and it's actually made it to where like companies in like Texas and other stuff, like Russia and Saudi Arabia, are having a big like bidding war for oil prices right now. That's why down the street, like, it's like $2.05 for gas right now, and it just keeps going down and down because the only people that can afford to do that is Saudi Arabia, so everyone's just buying gas and oil from them now.
Dang. Okay.
So.
Yeah, and other than that too, it's like affecting sports. You know, basketball, the season's suspended because a couple players got tested positive.
Yeah, and it's
Hockey.
actually crazy with basketball because
Yeah.
LeBron said they were talking about doing some games where no fans,
Wow.
which it makes sense if you want to keep
Yeah.
it going, but promoters start losing money, owners start losing money, stuff like that. And LeBron came out and said, "I refuse to play a game if there's not fans in the crowd."
Yeah, and I think that would be a lot of their reactions too. I think is to be like that. So.
I'm sure that players, a lot of their money comes from not necessarily concessions, but like people coming in the buildings and buying their jerseys and buying all the merchandise and stuff like that. So I can understand, but at the same time, I think it's kind of selfish. It's one of those like prima donna type things where like you're still getting paid to play the game, especially when LeBron's already a billionaire.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
just tough it up and continue with your season. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that big. It's not going to affect you in the long run,
Right.
as long as everyone's healthy.
Right.
So.
And overall, yeah, it's affecting like hockey, baseball now, and I'm kind of curious to see if it's gonna affect the draft at all.
I've heard that they were talking about potentially canceling. There's a lot of stuff, dude. South by Southwest canceled.
Yep. Coachella postponed.
Yeah, till October, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
E3 is canceled.
Gone. CinemaCon gone.
It's like left and right, everything. And then there's potential for WrestleMania to get canceled.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, and Vince McMahon is one of those people, he will do it to his damnedest. If he can get around all the rules and regulations and stuff, he will still do it.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, they're running it in Tampa, and Tampa's talking about going quarantine. They had a meeting today talking about like canceling it, and it was like, it's one of those things that's so serious that like Vince McMahon actually showed up to the meeting.
Really?
And he was like trying to sway them away from it. They're like, for now, we're gonna keep going with stuff. We're not canceling anything, but that could change any minute.
Yeah, and honestly, like all these like shutdowns and canceling stuff, it's a good.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't lowers the risk of like it spreading more.
Yeah.
And gathering.
While like I'm not gonna get too political, I'm just saying while not the biggest fan of Trump, I will say at least this is going in a decent direction with him. He decided to pretty much close the borders, no one coming in
everywhere.
Or out. Yeah,
from anywhere.
I think the only place that's not closed for travel is the UK, which doesn't really make sense.
Because I don't think they have any cases of it yet.
I don't know, but I'm sure as soon as they get a couple, then
yeah.
But I think it's funny though, because one of the like worst jokes I've heard is like, oh, like British people don't really have good hygiene yet. They don't have any worries about it at the moment. Yeah, so like borders are pretty much closed off to any other country coming in, infecting us right now, but it already got in. So
yeah, and it's multiplying.
Yeah,
for sure. Tom Hanks even has it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you didn't see that. Tom Hanks and his wife, because they were in Australia, they were starting a pre-production on that Elvis movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and they got tested and they're positive for it. But he's, I don't know if you saw, his son posted a video on Instagram talking about Chet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, talking about it, and he's like just saying thank you for the well wishes, and his parents aren't even really tripping about it because they don't even feel that sick, really.
He's a weird case.
In that video, he seemed pretty mellow.
Okay, that's good, because I've seen in some of his videos in the past, like, where he's literally saying the N-word, and he's like, perfectly fine with it. He's like, I don't walk up to black people and say it. He's like, I just say it when I, like, listen to music and because I get a pass for my friends. I'm like, you don't put it on a video and put it on Instagram.
Right. Yeah, he's probably chill. I'm guessing he'd probably chill out then a little bit, maybe.
I'm hoping.
Hope so.
His brother's a great actor. I love some of his work. Have you ever seen Dexter?
No.
No? Keep talking about more stuff. I'll pull up a picture for you real quick because you'll be like, what in the hell?
Oh, okay. But yeah, Tom Hanks getting it, and I'm kind of curious to see like what other celebrities get it, because it's bigger than anyone would have thought, I think, so far.
Yeah, no, it's definitely created like it's very fast moving, but I think that because of how publicized it's been, like I don't even remember swine flu or bird flu being this like problematic.
No, even that like H1N1 or something like that.
I think that was swine flu.
Oh, was it swine flu? Okay, cool.
My uncle was like one of the first confirmed cases in Colorado for that, and like he was bad, but like after he was over with it, he was perfectly fine.
How long did it take him to get over that?
I think it was like about a week. And it was bad. He was puking a lot, but like afterwards he's fine. Like I think swine flu had a much bigger death toll from the beginning than this did.
Okay.
So it's like, I think what I heard the other day was like 120,000, and I'm sure the numbers have gone up. 120,000 confirmed infected and like 4,200 at the time deaths.
Did that come from China too?
I think it was like overall from China, like worldwide.
Isn't that weird then? If that wasn't like highly like publicized as like this one is, for some reason like this one is the one. I don't know. That's kind of odd. I
don't know, man, because I'm not a doctor. I couldn't tell you enough to even pass.
And even they don't know like a whole lot about it yet.
Yeah.
So.
But Colin Hanks.
That's his son?
Yeah, that's his son, dude.
I've seen him like so many times. I never knew that was his son.
I didn't either until me and Ariana were watching Dexter, and I was rolling through the IMDb. I was like, what in the hell? He has the same last name. I was like, he does kind of look like him. And then I looked into it and I was like, wow, that is his son. Like, that's a trip.
That is crazy.
But yeah, so while there is a lot of overreaction, hopefully the overreaction kind of nips it in the butt early.
Yeah. Yeah. Because major overreaction. You go to, like I said, you go to any store, it's ridiculous.
A lot of big corporations are shutting down sites with confirmed infections. Google is actually, at least in Seattle, what I heard is they are actually having everybody work from home. Because if you think about it, there's no real reason for anybody at Google to be in a building working together.
Right.
Because they can literally just work from home and their hours aren't affected.
Yeah.
So, because I think what they do, like, did you ever watch the movie The Internship?
Yeah.
So, like, they log into a program to, like, basically time themselves in their work. Mm-hmm. So, like, you can do that from home easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you have a job like that, like an office-type job or something, it'd probably be easy for you to do that.
Yeah.
And I think I would like to assume that people with hourly jobs probably be more affected than people with salary jobs.
Yeah.
I would say.
For sure. I know there are some places that, like, I think China, while they shut down, they gave everyone, like, $1,200 to $1,500 to kind of make it to where it wouldn't affect the economy too much.
Okay.
I think that's one thing that coming out of this, it's going to change a lot of the ways we deal. Like, I was watching Internet today. Like, this isn't my original thought. Yeah. I'd love it to be. I'm not that intelligent. I don't want to take credit for it. Someone will be like, I heard that in the same fucking place. It's going to change the way a lot of companies think about doing things, because if Google can send all their people home and have them all work from home and be perfectly fine and it
might just stick with that.
Like, we can get rid of the cost of owning a building.
Yeah. Send
everybody home and call it good.
Okay.
You're going to have a lot less, and I think it will sadly affect a lot of brick and mortar establishments. It's, I don't know. Time will tell, but it's looking like it's going to, the panic's going to affect a lot of things.
Yeah, I think if anything, it'll be the panic, not necessarily the virus itself, but everyone, like, losing their shit over it is going to cause a lot of problems. And, like, I was watching the show First Take on ESPN. Mm-hmm. They're talking about it, the NBA shut down and all that stuff, and they're saying there was a scientist or a doctor, I forget the name that he said, but he's saying that we're probably a couple months out from it being not eradicated all the way, but, like, getting to that point. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're still a couple months away. I'm guessing by the time summer hits, like, late May, early June.
And that's what I heard, too. I also heard that the disease, or I don't know what are their virus, I guess.
Yeah, virus.
Actually, like, thrives in the cold. I could be wrong about that, too. I'm just what I've heard. So they're saying that it could go away by the summer, but there's potential that if, like, people let up on quarantine and stuff like that before it's fully gone, then it can come back in, like, October, September.
Ooh, okay.
So as long as everybody gets their stuff together, and maybe by then they'll even get some vaccines so we can inoculate people and not have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, and I was reading an article today too that 70% of the people who have it in China, they've been discharged from the hospital and they're recovered from it. And, like, cases of it spreading in China and South Korea, they're starting to decrease too. So I think pretty much, like, all the other countries are going to start following that pretty soon.
Yeah.
But China was pretty bad for a while, so it has to get to that point first. So Italy might be next to start lowering, maybe.
Because I guess what I heard was, for the most part, you don't really start seeing the effects until after, like, a week of infection.
Yeah, 2 to 14 days.
Yeah. So while it doesn't sound fun, the biggest thing to remember is, if you're in our age range, your chances for, like, mortality, you should be fine.
You're fine. You'll be really, like, screwed up, I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll be sick. You probably won't feel good, but for the most part, you could have it on the lower spectrum where you're just coughs, sniffles, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you probably could end up getting vomiting, nausea, hospitalization.
And you definitely want to, like, stay away from work, stay away from anybody else, because they were saying, and older people that you know, because like 60 and up, those are, like, really.
Yes, children and the elderly are the ones at the highest risk. So definitely, if you have loved ones who are in those age ranges and you can avoid being around them during the time if you're sick, do it.
And even if you're not, just wash your hands, don't touch your face, cough in your elbow.
And me, dude, like, touching my beard is my biggest thing.
And that's
so it's like
stuff gets trapped in there.
Well, dude, I love having my beard, but one of the biggest drawbacks, like, especially in my job, is knowing how much, like, fecal matter and stuff gets attracted to your face. I'm always, like, wanting to, like, touch it or wash it or whatever, just because it's like, ugh.
I have that problem too. I touch my hair all day long, so I make sure at night I can wash wash it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like a lot.
Like, I think half the time before I put shampoo in my actual hair, I put shampoo in my beard because I'm like, ugh, it's just gross.
Yeah. So yeah, just mainly keep up on the hygiene and stay away from the crowded areas. I'm not even going to go to a concert in a couple months probably. I'll stay away.
The next concert I go to is, unless it's Justices, will be ICP, which might scare me more than a wrestling show.
Yeah,
while I love ICP and like I get along with all the fans because like it's the way people treat you when you're in that kind of environment is kind of dope. I will say, while I love Juggalos, they probably some of the least hygienic people.
Yeah, you won't catch me in there.
But that's in May, so I'm hoping
We'll see.
If we're lucky.
What I'm worried about is Code Orange is gonna be here in April, so next month.
Ooh.
And I'm like, God damn it, like, I don't know. And that's at a small venue too. It's gonna be really packed. So I'm like,
I think everybody's gonna wear a mask.
You'll
go to
catch
the
me in like a
show.
whole hazmat suit.
You're just come in looking like Walter White.
Yeah, but that really sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's worth not going to stuff like that. Honestly.
But at the same time, you also have to look at the fact that I think a lot of artists are probably going to end up canceling shows anyways.
Yeah, because a lot of them are canceling European shows. Some of them are starting to cancel North American tours. So I'm curious to see what Code Orange is going to do because their album drops tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people, if they don't cancel, at least delay shows.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think is the smartest way to go. Don't let it get the best of everything, but kind of keep it in the back of your minds and like, if you can avoid being in large groups of people, do it.
Yeah, because it's serious enough to do that.
Yeah, avoid going
It's not
to the
like,
store.
oh, fuck that, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't even think I've gone to Walmart. Like the biggest stores I've been to recently are like gas stations because I don't want to like be around a million people, and even then you got to worry about what everybody else touches.
Yep. Yeah, me earlier when I was at Walmart, that was like the most people I've been around in a few weeks because I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere.
Well, like I sit in a truck all day.
Yeah.
By myself.
Yeah.
If I communicate with someone, it's like, hi, bye, or it's in the shop.
Yeah, and I work with the same 6 people all the time in the mechanic shop.
Yeah.
So
like there's a lot of there's a lot going into this that we'll have to keep an eye on, and we'll definitely keep reporting on. But try to get some happier news in here in the meantime. Have you heard of the TV show Dave?
Oh, I've seen ads for it on Twitter. Oh, it's a Little Dicky show, right?
Yes, it's Little Dicky, and dude, I did not want to watch it. I was like, it's just like another thing. It's gonna be boring. It's cool, happy he got a show, but I was like, I was bored last night, and I didn't have anything else to watch. And I threw on the first episode, and I got some like legitimate laughs.
Nice.
Like I was like super surprised.
Is he good in it?
He is fantastic.
Really?
Like he's Little Dicky. Like he's hilarious.
Because I always kind of like pictured him like he could be a comedic actor just the way he looks. Like he just looks like one. More so than a rapper.
He has the same timing. I'm not gonna say the same timing as like a Seth Rogen, just because it's an easy comparison.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like if you mix Seth Rogen with like almost Jim Jeffries, like the way he doesn't really like look at you when he talks, but he's very very fast talking, very like nervous and like it's hilarious though.
Nice.
Like, did you ever see that video, his music video for Pillow Talking?
Never saw the video.
No.
For it, no.
So the girl from that music video is his girlfriend in the show.
Oh, okay.
And like it took me a minute to realize it, but they play off of each other perfectly.
Nice.
It is it plays on FXX.
Okay.
But it's on Hulu. And they allow a lot more on FXX than I realized. N-words, F-words, sex toys.
Dang.
Butt-ass naked people.
Wow.
For the most part. Like, it is surprisingly racy for cable. I don't know if you consider that cable television. I don't know
what.
what.
In a way you would.
Yeah, network television, whatever you want to call it.
television.
But it's very funny. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. They're like he, like, I don't know if I can say anything about it to like not tip you off too much, but like YG's in it.
Oh, wow.
Like there's some definite like some moments that'll get some serious laughs out of you. Like I even watched it with Ariana and she could not quit laughing.
Really?
So it's really good.
I'll have to check it out. I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch The Phantom tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if you watch The Phantom tonight, I will sit down and watch La La Land.
Okay.
Okay. And then that way Sunday we can
Talk
get
about
back on it.
Nice.
I heard a rumor also this week, and I know we talked about it a little bit, but I want to touch on it real quick and let you know and let everybody else know that I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
There's talk that there could be a version of the Joker in the Batman played by Johnny Depp.
The one and only John Depp. And I'm also not okay with it.
like you said, Joker needs to be over the top, but
Still contained.
and like another thing you brought up is it shouldn't be so close to Joaquin's version. Like
Yeah.
they need to do like 1 or 2 Batman movies and then a Joker.
Yeah, and like that rumor I was telling you about that I read, that it's gonna be a trilogy, obviously,
Mhm.
and towards the end of the second movie or the third movie, that's when you introduce the Joker, and it's kind of like an adaptation of A Death in the Family type of deal.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
So a Death in the Family, that's Jason Todd Joker, right?
Yeah.
I really hope they can move fast enough in these 3 movies to go through a Dick Grayson and a Jason Todd.
That's touchy too, because I don't want him to go too fast, because then everything's rushed.
What I
But I don't think he needs a Robin in the first movie.
I think that you. So here's what I want a Robin in the first movie.
A good Robin.
A good Robin. And then halfway through the second.
He dies.
No, not even that. I just want halfway through the second, I want him and Bruce to kind of disagree on stuff so much
But they just like this.
that he pushes himself away. And then shortly through that same movie, or maybe even at the end of the movie, he sees a kid stealing the wheels off the Batmobile, and that's your Jason Todd. Because that's how they meet in the comics.
Yeah. Okay.
So he takes him in, and the beginning of the next movie, you can maybe do either a little montage or just be like, okay, like this is fast forwarded like a year and a half from after he becomes Robin.
Okay.
And show the traditional like, or if you're doing just the full, like I'm jumping further ahead and going under the Red Hood
Okay.
in my head.
Yeah.
So if we're just doing Death in the Family, you can have that whole third movie just be him training up Jason Todd.
Okay.
And at the end, Batman being too late to save him and the building blowing up.
And you can have a fourth movie.
No, I want, like we've talked about this, I
Yeah.
want a franchise of like 10 fucking
Yeah,
Robert
because
Pattinson movies.
Thor's about to have a fourth movie.
Yeah.
And you don't need to like be like confined to like a trilogy.
Yes.
You can do like 2 trilogies.
Speaking of which, did you see that? I know we kind of talked about it. Christian Bale is confirmed as the villain.
Yeah.
In Thor 4 now.
He's confirmed.
So, and that was, I think that was spilled by Tessa Thompson in an interview.
Yeah. I saw that
So,
quote too.
That excites me. But for the most part, I have a lot of faith in this Batman stuff, and I'm really hoping that it can go past the 3 movies that they.
Yeah, and I hope that Johnny Depp rumor is like false all the way, because he'll just like camp it up.
Well, my thing is, if you're gonna get a Joker that old, why not just go Dafoe? Willem Dafoe would be
perfect.
the perfect Joker.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
I think it was him, Jack Nicholson, and Robin Williams were up for the Joker to begin
Robin
with.
Williams would have been good because he can get serious too.
I love some of his movies. Like,
Have you seen
especially
1 Hour
his more-
Photo?
I haven't seen that
That's
one.
a crazy
I've
movie.
heard really good things about
Yeah.
that movie. He was fantastic in Best Dad in the World.
Never saw it.
That got my heart. Like,
Really?
oof.
Emotional stuff?
Like, it's funny, but it's a dad dealing with his kid's suicide,
Oh, okay.
and his son is a piece of shit. And like, it shows you the way people react when there's like a death in the family or something like that. And so like, his son is just a super douchebag. He finds his son his son didn't mean to commit suicide.
Oh, okay.
He's masturbating and he has a belt wrapped around his neck and he just
he's into that
passes
stuff.
out. Yeah, it's like overboard.
Yeah.
And it's the kid it's the kid from Spy Kids. The red-haired kid.
Really? Junie?
Yeah, Junie. And so he dies and then so he writes his son suicide letter and everything and then
He writes it for his son?
yeah,
Oh,
so
shit.
that way when the cops show up, it looks like he hung himself from his closet and he didn't want the embarrassment for himself or for his son's memory.
Right.
And so he creates this whole fake life for his son, poetry that he wrote and all this other stuff and all of a sudden all the kids that hated him at school are all going up to him oh, we were best friends and blah 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 and and he likes it at first and then it starts to break him down in the movie and he plays it very well.
Really? Okay. I
miss Robin Williams.
Yeah, he was a good actor.
He was also fantastic in the Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
Yeah, he was really good.
I loved him in that movie.
Yeah. Won an Oscar for that one too.
Yes. Best supporting actor, I believe.
Yeah.
But back to what we were talking about. Anybody besides Jared Leto or Johnny Depp, because I feel like Johnny Depp would make the same mistakes.
Yeah. I picture Johnny Depp doing kind of like a Jack Nicholson type Joker in a way, but a little more goofy.
I do. I honestly, I think if he were to try to do the Joker, I feel like he'd go a little too Mad Hatter. I would be okay with him being the Mad Hatter.
I guess so. I just don't want him anywhere near the Batman. I don't.
If there was anything I'd be comfortable with him playing in the Batman or any Batman movie, it would be the Mad Hatter. And it's only because I would like that little head nod wink going from Alice in Wonderland to the Batman.
Okay.
Other than that, fucking leave it alone.
Yeah.
Put him in a jail cell for 2 seconds in one scene, ending.
Yeah.
Done.
And there's this thing too that Todd Phillips was talking about because a bunch of people asked him if that Joker was going to be related to Robert Pattinson's Batman, and he said no, and he said maybe, alluding to it, he's like maybe Joaquin's Joker wasn't the real Joker, and he inspired the actual Joker.
See, I'd be okay with.
And that Joker would be in Robert Pattinson, so they're still connected.
I'd be okay with that. My only thing is I feel like that's backpedaling.
You think so?
Because I've heard rumors that the original ending for that movie, and this comes from Kevin Smith. He talked to.
It was super. It was something darker. It was
was way darker. Where
he shot Bruce.
It was actually the Joker who killed them in the alley, and he was getting ready to walk away and turns back and kills Bruce too. So it's I don't think you can have that as an alternate ending and in the same breath say.
But it's not available to watch though. It's just that's what was gonna happen. I think.
Well, and I don't even know if they ever actually filmed that scene. It's just, I don't know if you can ever say, hey, we thought about doing this.
Maybe they didn't do it on purpose. They're like, all right, well, maybe this is going to connect to the Batman.
And if that's the case, if that's the case, I don't know, man. I'm comfortable with anything. I will listen to any story and give it a chance. I just don't want them to put themselves in a corner they can't get out of.
Yeah.
I would be fine with him being the inspiration for another Joker.
For the real because honestly, I don't know about you, but I can't see Joaquin's Joker running a whole crime operation. He's too crazy.
That he's not. I don't think he doesn't strike me as the type of person who would care about having the attention from Batman. That's my biggest crux with him because that's after if you play Arkham Origins, because I know you're on night now.
Yeah,
if you go back and play Origins, you'll feel like you took a step back for sure.
Oh, okay.
Just in graphics and gameplay. But the biggest crux of those games is it's the relationship between Batman and the Joker.
Because it's important. They need each other.
Yeah. Well, it's their first meeting.
Oh, okay.
And why Joker feels so attached to him.
Okay.
It's kind of a cool little I think that's why people are okay with leaving all the actual Arkham games by themselves and just doing sequels to the Arkham Origins game for now.
Because you said that's a separate thing. It's not really that storyline.
Yeah, because it's made
not
by
that same Batman.
Yeah, it's made by Warner Brothers Montreal.
Okay.
And Rocksteady made the other three.
Yeah.
So, both are really good in their own right. fantastic scene in like the first 3 or 4 hours of the game where you fight Deathstroke is like it's one of the reasons that people are so mad about the Deathstroke fight in Arkham Knight.
Oh, he's an Arkham Knight?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
It's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
It's a side mission.
Okay.
So you don't even.
I don't even do the side missions.
The side missions are good and worth it in that one. They're not, as long as you're not trying to go after all the Riddler trophies.
Okay.
Which,
yeah, I don't do that. I get them if I see them, but
that'll make it to where that's the only. There'll be one side mission you can't finish. Then at the end, don't even worry about all the Riddler stuff at the end, because at that point you're sidelined to having to find like 325 Riddler trophies just to fight him.
Oh, okay.
And it is a pain in the ass.
Because right now I ran into him because he had Catwoman captured, and that's where I'm at.
And like those are fun.
Is that a side mission?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because I didn't even do it. Because after that, when you leave the building, like it has you choose the mission that you want, and I just went back to the
main missions.
getting a Barbara.
And there are a lot of good missions, like side missions and stuff in that game. Firefly's kind of cool. Deacon Blackfire's dope.
I saw the Man-Bat.
Man-Bat's
He
fun.
just scared the fuck out of me.
Oh, dude.
I was like, what the fuck?
And apparently there is a way you can change the clock on your gaming system. You have a PlayStation. Where after you do all of his side missions and capture him, you can go back on October 31st, set the clock to October 31st, or go back on October 31st, and he's escaped.
Man-Bat?
And he pops back up. And like it's just like a one-off thing. But
Oh, okay.
I love how Rocksteady is very into those like timed, like because with the Calendar Man in Arkham City, if you go back on each holiday, like St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, all those, he has a different thing to say.
Okay.
And that's how they actually teased Arkham Knight.
Okay, because I didn't do. Are the side missions worth doing in Arkham City? Because I just did the story and I was done with it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember most of them for Arkham City. I know I did them.
Oh, okay.
But I'd say Arkham Knights are a little more fun. But like, if you change the date in Arkham City to the day that Rocksteady was founded, it gives you a tease for Arkham Knight.
Ah, okay.
So, and then the other thing that irritates me about Arkham Knight is you can't get the true ending unless you 100% beat the game.
Oh, there's a true ending.
Yeah, but you can look it up on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's not worth it.
Oh, okay. Because like so far, that's my favorite one so far.
Gameplay, it's the most fluid, it's the most solid.
It looks like really good too.
Oh,
I'm like,
it's
oh fuck.
beautiful. I think that's the biggest help is it came out in like 2015.
15, yeah.
So it's a fantastic game. The story is super predictable, but it's so good.
You see, I didn't get that. Like, who Arkham Knight is?
Yeah.
I kind of like have an idea, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I don't know if I even want to talk to you about it and ruin it for you, so we're just gonna move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What else did you see big in the news this week?
What else did I see? Oh, well, it kind of goes back to coronavirus.
That's fine.
Fast and Furious 9 got pushed back to next year. Next April.
Why? Isn't it done filming?
No, it was supposed to come out in May, and they pushed it back a whole year to April.
Why?
Because of this. I don't know exactly why, but they pushed it back because of this. And also, Quiet Place 2. It's not coming out tonight.
It's supposed to come out tonight?
Yeah, or tonight
tomorrow?
or next week. Next week, I think.
Even then, when are they
Yeah.
delaying it till?
Indefinite.
Why?
I don't know. John Krasinski, he put a statement. He's like, I want the whole world to watch it together, is what he said.
I understand that. But
So
like,
there's no date or anything for it. It's just pushed back.
Obviously, we live in a money world, so I understand why they're doing it, but it does suck because.
Fast 9, I can care less.
I mean, hey man, it's saving me money at the moment,
Yeah.
so I don't have to go to the theaters. I'm not gonna go to the theaters to watch Fast and Furious. I'll wait until it's out and my
I
dad
haven't
buys
watched
it.
them since 7 because I feel like them continuing after 7 is kind of disrespectful. I think.
I thought it was super
That was a good ending.
tasteless. Like that was the place to leave it alone.
Yeah, when they went off in separate roads, that was perfect. But no, they gotta keep fucking pumping them out because they're making money.
And you got your Hobbs and Shaw, and then you're gonna have another spinoff after.
I'd be fine with
9.
Hobbs and Shaw if that was they just did that.
Yeah.
And leave Fast and Furious alone.
I'm okay with anything with The Rock in it. So you want to keep pumping him out with The Rock? Sure. But I don't even think The Rock's in this newest one, is he? which I would be happy if he was.
I think it's because he had beef with Vin Diesel. Yeah.
But if I want him to be in it just so I can see The Rock and John Cena fight again.
Yeah. You never have what you want.
Oh, dude. I bought WrestleMania 2 years in a row just for that.
Yeah.
And then there was talk that I was happy with Zachary Levi's casting as Shazam, but I was also upset because I was like hearing a bunch of rumblings that John Cena could be Shazam. And that
was another opportunity gone.
I would have been so happy because seeing Black Adam and Shazam, as John Cena and The Rock, that's like literally taking action figures and just putting different heads on them and bashing them against each other.
No.
Man, yeah. Especially because of how much I love wrestling, I think that would have been the way to go.
Yeah.
Has there been any other movies that have been pushed around?
Not that I know of. Those are like the 2 big ones that I've read about. So if you're looking forward to any of those, you're gonna have to wait.
I am looking forward to A Quiet Place too. That does.
Yeah, that one I am.
I'm trying to think.
I honestly don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
Because this whole coronavirus is kind of taking over everything else.
Yeah, it's definitely been in the forefront of everybody's mind to the point where like you go into morning meeting at work and they've talked about it. Like there's no.
That's what guys talk about all day today. I'm like,
yeah, no, it's.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe for that point that we can at least turn people on to other stuff that we're interested in right now, like the fact that I've been trying to get you to watch Letterkenny.
I know. I'm on to episode 2.
So you know how I texted you that you're 10-ply?
Yeah, is that from that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically it just means that you're super soft.
Okay.
There are so many slang words, because like if you think about it, like 1-ply toilet paper is like rough.
Yeah.
2-ply is soft. If you're 10-ply, you're like
super.
Yeah, you're like squishy. There's so much slang in there to pick up on that like it hurts your brain for a little bit. But all of the wordplay in there is so fantastic. Like I have never seen a show play off puns the way they do.
Right.
Like it is nothing but puns.
Yeah, just from the few clips that I've seen, it's
like
it's all it is.
Especially when they talk to the people from the Mennonite community, which Mennonites are kind of like 2 sections of people we can offend by talking about. Mennonites and with the beards, they don't use electricity. Amish. Yes. So they're pretty much the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the exact difference is. I think Mennonites are allowed to use a little bit of electricity.
Okay.
But their last name is Dick, and all of their
I saw a clip
all
of
of their family members have names like
that old dude.
Like all the family members, like so one lady's Anita, so it's Anita Dick, Chastity Dick, like just stupid names, and then like the mother's maiden name has something to do with vagina, so like it's just bad, dude. Like it's by far one of my favorite shows to watch right now, and I just finished the 8th season, so like that's what got me to start watching Dave.
Okay. For sure.
Has there been anything you've been watching recently?
I've just been playing Batman. Pretty much. I beat the first 2 games in like
a week.
Yeah.
And I know you've been texting me throughout each one. So what were your thoughts on the ending of I think we covered your thoughts on the ending of Asylum.
Yeah.
What about City?
It was cool. It was like a kind of cliffhanger in a way. And it was different. I was waiting for him to answer, like, at the end, and he just kind of walks away and just, like, he cuts off there.
Were you surprised by the way that night started?
I was sitting there like a dumbass. I was waiting for something to happen.
Like pop up. And
I didn't realize I had to, like, press X to get the flyer going. So I was literally sitting there like, what the fuck?
Like he's just gonna pop up any second.
Yeah.
And then I did the same thing. I saw that I was supposed to press the button, but I was like, what if I just don't for a while? I sat there for like 3 minutes.
I like the vibes, like the music that played and stuff was kind of like eerie.
Yeah.
It was like almost like a horror game kind of in some ways.
Well, especially because doesn't it start with you like playing as a cop in a diner?
Yeah, you because some guy says there's a weird dude in the corner booth, and you go over there and it's some scarecrow dude with the fear gas. and then it goes to shit from there.
Okay.
I just feel like that happened like quick too.
Yeah.
Like Arkham City ended in right away. Because how much time is taking place? A couple months?
I want to say it's
like 6 months, I think.
because obviously you have Joker pretty much gets burnt right after, and then
Yeah, he's done.
I don't know if it gives you a definite time frame,
Yeah.
but I would assume it would have to be at least a year, personally.
Yeah.
Because you have to let a lot of things happen. So like, what point are you at in the game? You said you're on your way to save Barbara Gordon.
Save Barbara, yeah. I got to the point where I don't know if you remember it, where Barbara was in the truck and you had to like follow the tracks to see where that truck led, and she kind of jumped out, and you got to
And she's, like,
investigate that
crawling.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where you're at then.
Yeah. So and Scarecrow like completely different than Arkham Asylum.
Oh, way different.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be the same one, I would assume.
The one thing I wasn't sure of is if it's the same voice actor or not,
It's definitely not.
because I love the voice actor from Night. Like, he's a fantastic
Yeah,
actor.
because the one in Asylum is almost like Halloweeny, like cartoony almost.
Okay.
And this one's like dead serious, like.
Yeah. I haven't played Asylum in a minute. Actually, I think I played Asylum more recently than I played Night, so I don't know why I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
Because I played Asylum, or I played Night, and then shortly after Night came out, they came out with the Return to Arkham
Yeah.
bundle, which is Asylum and City. So I played both of those and 100% beat those again because I have no life. And just because like it's cool to see if you go back and look at some Easter eggs that you missed or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're easier than I thought too. Because normally on games like nowadays I get stuck on something stupid and never play it again. But they're pretty simple with it.
Yeah, especially the Arkham games. They pretty much give you bumpers if you want them, like to just follow along and do your main mission stuff. But if you want to kind of go outside of that, there is so much extra.
Oh yeah.
And then even more if you bought all the DLCs and stuff.
Is Arkham City like the most like the largest one? Like as far as like size?
Map wise?
Shit, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive. I think it's like if you were to combine almost like 2 Arkham cities.
Okay.
I think it's just slightly. I actually think it's bigger than GTA 6.
Really?
Like map wise, but
Wow.
you can travel across it much faster.
Yeah, and a lot of people say this their favorite one is Arkham City.
Arkham City is the one that everyone I hear talk about. I hear people talk about arguing over Origins or City
Origins
as their favorites. Yeah,
Huh.
just because the gameplay was solid for both of them and the stories were more unique. Where Asylum was loved, but the ending of it killed it.
Yeah, because like I said, like you have all this build up and it just ends like right away. Like
Yeah.
it's over.
Well, that and like, there are so many other enemies you could have fought besides the Joker all jacked that would have made it more interesting.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, Poison Ivy is harder to beat than Joker
Oh, yeah.
was.
There was a lot of challenging fights in that game, whereas that one, it just kind of like anticlimactic.
Yeah. That's what
It was still fun. It just wasn't as worth it as it would have been.
right.
Still worth playing over though.
Yeah.
Like I can't stop myself from going back and playing games like that. Like anytime they release a remastered bundle like that, like the Ezio trilogy, I went insane on. I don't think I've finished Revelations, but I'm like 90% through it.
Resident Evil?
No, Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
the
okay.
Ezio trilogy.
Okay.
Revelations.
Okay.
That's the third one of the 3, and it's a good game. It's definitely probably the weakest of those 3, but
Okay.
I love Assassin's Creed. Like, that's my favorite franchise.
I started to like it like when the first one came out, but I felt like the first one was just like repeat the same shit over and over again.
The first one is the weakest game they have.
Yeah.
I kind of felt the same way about Origins. Like, the story just kind of Odyssey brought me back a little bit. It's still not where I want it to be. I'm not a fan of the changing in the button layout and everything.
Okay.
Because, like, it used to be very simple. Like, there was a button for counter. Now it's right bumper, right stick is, like, heavy and light attacks.
Okay.
Like, it's very different. They're in Origins, you had a shield that you could use, and like it's just overly complicated.
Right.
I wish they would bring back the old system, but I'm still good to do it because I love the Assassin's Creed story. It's just enough off the wall to like keep me interested.
Okay, for sure.
We got less than a month for Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to play that. Although I didn't play Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Dude.
I played the demo, like the first, but I didn't get to play the game.
Good.
Yeah.
So good. I actually have it on PS4.
Okay,
I think. Yes, PS4. It is such a good game. Like, they could have just left it alone and not done anything,
right,
and just re-released it for consoles. But the amount of detail and fixes that they did, like, blow my mind.
Right,
like,
and I'm sure it's gonna be the same with 3.
And that's one thing that, like, that's why everyone will buy it.
Yeah.
Is because the amount of time and detail they put into 2, it gave people faith in Capcom again.
I feel like they were making 2 and 3 at the same time.
And I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they probably already started on 4. I don't know if they're gonna touch 5.
Well, I read something about 4 that they're not gonna even do that for a while because they're focused on 8 now.
So I think they'll do 3, release 8, and then I think 4 will come about a year after.
So
and
like
then
2022, 23.
Yeah, I'd say 23 at the earliest.
Because that would be like I've always wanted to see that one like remastered with the new graphics.
Well, and the nice thing is it's not too far back to where they shouldn't have too much to do. Yeah. Whereas Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2,
90s,
that was polygons. Like, it was so rough to where you're like, I'm playing it on PlayStation 1 type of...
Yeah, but could you imagine 4 like on the next gen of consoles? That'd be crazy.
No, honestly, like, I'm excited for anything that gets remastered that I used to love to play as a kid. When it gets me excited again. And it's stupid because I've played it before. Yeah. But it's that nostalgia, dude. It helps so much.
Right.
I can literally sit and replay any of the Assassin's Creeds. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I can sit and replay any of the Resident Evils. The Batmans, obviously. Yeah. I will say, though, while I enjoy all that, I am really wanting something new and fresh.
Okay.
Like a sequel to God of War. That is my favorite game of the last 10 years at least.
Really?
Dude.
I still haven't played it.
I will let you borrow it.
I have it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh. I love that game. Like, especially because they did so much to change the story. So it's a continuation from the first 3.
Okay.
But
because I always thought it was like a reboot.
It kind of is. It's like a soft reboot.
Okay.
But everything that happened in the first 3 is still canon.
Okay.
So basically he leaves Greece and everything and he goes to Midgard. He basically leaves Greek mythology and goes into Norse mythology.
Okay.
And he meets a chick and he has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you play off of the first one, is not a good place to start.
Yeah.
Because he ends up killing his wife and his kid because Ares tricks him.
Yep.
Well, it's not spoilers, but you start, it is kind of spoilers, but it's super soft. It's just in the first like 15 minutes.
You can tell me because I probably won't get to it.
It's, I will say, if there's any game that's worth playing, like, that's the one.
Okay.
He basically, the first 15 minutes are him and his son looking for a tree that they have to cut down that his wife marked and taking it to her and basically like cremating her on it. And after that, it's pretty much like a father and son story.
Oh.
And it came out
2 years ago?
a little bit more than a year after Kenneth was born.
Okay.
And so like I'm literally sitting holding him while I'm playing it. And that like father and son connection in the game made that game so much better because of what I was going through as like a dad.
Oh, okay.
And it helped me connect with it on that level.
Okay, cool.
Nothing else I've ever played has like made me feel that way. Like
really.
And at that little kid does not get in your way almost at all. It makes me so happy that they did like a follow, like a game that's literally like a follow quest the whole fucking way, where you have to like hold somebody's hand
Yeah.
without making you feel like you're strapped down and having to
And they
like,
might have
worry
you
about
killed.
Yeah, like you're not having to worry about them getting carried away every 3 seconds or
Yeah.
something like that. Like they handle their own, and they're actually like, there's a button that you press where he's usable and he shoots arrows for you.
Oh.
So like, he's not useless.
Yeah.
He's like, kind of like Ellie from The Last of Us types of use.
Okay.
So
So not like Ashley in Resident Evil 4, where she's getting captured and shit.
that is I feel like there was another Resident Evil game where they did that too, but yes, Resident Evil 4 especially, that shit pissed me off.
Yeah.
I hate those quests where it's like it's not called a follow quest, it's like a escort quest.
Yeah.
The whole game.
Yeah.
That stuff drives me insane.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason while I would love Resident Evil 4, that's the only thing that keeps me from wanting to play Resident Evil 4.
Have them change it to just Fallen.
I would be happy with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of, like, a great game can be ruined by too much of one thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I love God of War, because there's so much mixed into it where I don't want to spoil it for you. It is that good, but I'll stop myself here and we'll talk about something else. So, other games that I would like to see new something is any other superhero. I know you're not into the Avengers right now.
No.
I know you're not interested. I will play it just based on the principle that I feel like I have to give it a try.
Okay.
Especially if it is potentially connected to the Spider-Man game. What I'm more excited for is the potential for a Superman or Justice League game.
Okay.
Which would be made by Rocksteady.
Yeah, Rocksteady.
And
I'll definitely play one of those.
yes, and those would be potentially at least connected to the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
Which would make it at least more enticing for you.
Like, would you like? I feel like in Superman they would have to change up like the fighting style and stuff. Can it be the same?
100%. And see, that's the biggest problem is how do you create a challenge for Superman?
Yeah.
Because he's invincible. Unless everybody has fucking kryptonite.
Right.
Or their other potential thing they could do is a whole game under a red sun.
Mm.
When the red sun's up, or however it works, he doesn't have any powers.
Ah.
Or at least is super weakened. So
Right.
people could kill him.
Right.
I don't want something to, like, I want you to feel OP.
Yeah.
I want you to, like Prototype. You ever play Prototype?
Never played it.
Oh, that is one game where you literally feel like the big boss. Like,
Okay.
you can wreck shit.
Yeah.
You're like Kirby in a human body. It's ridiculous.
Nice.
Something like that as Superman would be dope until you have some, like, major invasion. Because I think the other thing that really ties you down with Superman game is, like, if you do still make him OP, you could do the alternative of making it to where everything has to be like a rescue quest.
Okay.
Where, like, if you don't rescue this person in time, you fail the mission.
Yeah.
I don't want that either. That shit bogs the game down quick.
Yeah, you have a balance of being overpowered and then something like the Red Sun or something to take away his powers.
Either that or have, like, go through half the game just being a badass. OP, being able to do whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have, like, Zod and them come down. Or a Doomsday. Or like a magic character. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of... I think Doomsday would be the way they would have to go.
Yeah.
Personally. Because, like, especially one of the most famous Superman storylines is the death of Superman.
Yeah.
With Doomsday killing him.
You can just make that the game.
Yeah. And another game that they could do that they did do back in the day is Reign of the Supermen.
Okay.
But they did it like 8-bit back in the day. Because I think there's like 4 Supermen who try to take over for Superman after he dies.
Okay.
Up until he comes back. And you can kind of have it as him fighting his way back and fighting them off.
Okay.
At least the 2 that are evil. I think there's 2 that are evil.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't know much about Superman.
He's one that I know probably the least about when it comes to DC.
Yeah.
I would super kill for a Green Arrow game.
Yeah.
I could write a Green Arrow game and I'd be happy. I'd be cool with a Wonder Woman game.
I'd be cool with that.
I would really like to see them do something unique with something like that.
I think a unique game they could make unique as an Aquaman game. You can do a lot of stuff with that.
I would be super interested in that.
Have the
trench. Water physics would be the hard part of that to get around.
Yeah.
I would definitely be down to play it though.
Yeah.
The trench would be a blast.
Yeah.
Riding sharks and shit.
Yeah. Seahorses.
Yeah. There's a bunch you could actually do with Aquaman. Martian Manhunter, I think a Green Lantern game would be dope.
That would be cool.
Yeah, as long as it's not tied to the movie. Like the last one. Yeah. Like, I never even touched the last one because I didn't hear anything good about it. Real quick, before we'll close this off this way. Is there any movie that you love? We're gonna bar Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel from this conversation because we've hit this a million times.
Yeah.
Is there any movie that you absolutely love that people hate? Like critically, it is shit on beyond belief to the point where you're almost embarrassed to admit it.
Any genre,
any movie. If you want to pick multiple, you can.
Oh, I got multiple.
See, like it's a hard thing to go off of.
Yeah.
I grew up in not thinking about what other people thought, and then like you grow up and then people are like, oh, Green Lantern's ass, and this is that.
And it's not necessarily like other people either. Like you just when you grow up, you like look at it again, you're like, oh, this the fuck.
Like I watched Phantom, like probably about a year ago, and I was like, it's not what I remember when I was a kid, but I still love it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't reviewed well.
No, I can imagine.
Oh.
But for me, number one, Spawn. Like I used to watch that like religiously.
I still love that movie.
I do too. Like I watched it but I can see the flaws in it, like the special effects and stuff. I'm like, wow.
Martin Sheen looks weird in that movie.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, that's not. I think it has like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes or some shit like that. Yeah.
Dude, I love Michael J. White in that. That was the only thing I knew him from the longest time.
Yeah, me too.
And then they brought him into the Arrowverse as Bronze Tiger.
Really?
And
he's also a Dark Knight.
Yes, he's not. Is he the disappearing pencil? No, he gets his.
One of his boys is the one who gets the disappearing pencil.
And then he gets his throat cut, and put into a body. When Joker jumps out of the body bag. Yep. That's what it was. Yeah. He was good in that too. Yeah. I really enjoyed him.
He's Spawn to me.
Dude, that voice.
Yeah,
it almost feels fake.
Yeah.
Like he feels like he. I want to hear him in an interview just to see if there's any difference.
Right.
He's holding that on forever. Like, have you heard the rumor that Gilbert Godfrey, his voice is fake and he just does it for public appearances?
I can see that.
That is an annoying. Like carrying that voice around.
Yeah, he probably has something similar to it, but he probably like, over exaggerates it when he's talking, like in a public. So
it's like putting that as your like thing. Being pigeonholed that way for your whole career would suck.
Yeah, it would.
But I mean, you got to do what you got to do to make money, and it has worked out for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the Affleck duck for how long?
And he was also the bird in Aladdin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, he was in a lot of stuff back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
I want to say he was in Babe. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like he was in Babe.
I haven't seen that in so long. I don't remember.
Oh hell. If I had to pick one that I love that everybody else hated, it's. I don't want to go with anything too much from when I was a kid, because that's easy to go back with like rose-tinted glasses. If I'm trying to think more recently, there are a lot of movies, like I love Yoga Hosers, and people hate that movie.
Haven't you seen it yet?
Like Red State was good. People weren't too critically, like, I can pick out mostly Kevin Smith movies and be good on this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, let me see real quick, because there has to be a lot of movies that just you can pick out that are so much better than they are, and even sometimes you'll get movies that critics will look back on years later and be like,
maybe we're a little too harsh.
It's aged better than expected.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you see Bloodshot reviews?
Are they bad? I can only assume they're bad.
Got 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me look at the
So not good.
audience score is 73.
Not bad.
See, it's one of those things. Like, critics don't always translate, but like,
They don't like.
I believe them when they talk about movies like Cats.
I still want to see it.
Yeah, I'm interested just to see how bad it is. Coming up movies that I haven't heard anything good about is like that Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, and that looks like probably the least interesting movie he's done in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Better Call Saul?
No.
That is actually a surprisingly good show. It's a sequel show to Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And it just came back randomly. Like, I didn't see any adverts for it.
What? Okay. It was supposed to have ended?
No, like it was on break for like a year and a half or more. So I was like, oh, maybe they were like, oh, we're gonna come back. Like, we're just taking a little time to like fine tune the script and make sure we get everything right. And then just like 5 episodes showed up on my DVR, and I was like, where the hell did this come from? So the first time I watched Suicide Squad, I loved it.
Well, it's the same with me, because like the hype gets you.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow. And the second time you go into it, like first 20 minutes is watchable, and then after that, it just like goes downhill.
Yeah. You start looking at it differently. But that's not the best example I can come up with, because it doesn't hold up on a second viewing.
No.
So to me personally,
It does not.
if I'm correct, I'll say this. Let me look at the score for this one movie really quick, and I will tell you exactly my thoughts on it.
Okay.
But I will tell you that I don't think it was very well reviewed. Yeah, it was reviewed horribly, and I still say it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay? The Butterfly Effect.
Never seen it.
No?
No, I've never seen it.
It's one of the few movies where Ashton Kutcher actually gets to play like a serious role.
And is he good in it?
He's very good. Like, to the point where like it got a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. 81% audience score.
It's a cult classic, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a couple more then.
Okay.
That just came to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand I honestly don't even understand critical like backlash against that movie, because of the fact that I'll say this straight up, it made me cry.
Really?
Like, it got me in that much.
Like there was an emotional scene that made
the ending.
Oh, the ending.
Both endings, because there's an alternate ending, and both of them fucked me up.
Really?
I watched it 2 different times, and I was like, oh, I'll watch it with the alternate ending this time. And I was like, maybe it'll be a little happier. No, it was worse. I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Oh, there's no happy ending at all.
Oh, no, dude. Like, it's...
Because what is it about? Is it like some sort of drug or some shit that he takes?
No, so basically, like, he has...
An ability?
Growing up, he has all these moments that he, like, blacks out, and then stuff just happens.
Oh.
And he writes them down in a journal because he goes to, like, therapy and stuff, and, like, he tries to figure out, like, what's going on. Then he forgets about it because, like, the blackouts go away, and he's fine. And then he gets older, and he finds his notebooks, and he reads them, and it sends him back into those moments, and he can change everything that's happened.
Oh. Okay.
And so he goes into,
like time travel almost.
Pretty much. He goes into, like, 4 or 5 different, like, versions of the way the world would have worked out, and... like, I will recommend that movie. I will have you watch that as one of our things.
Okay.
Because, dude, it's a mindfuck, if nothing else.
Okay.
Some of the people's acting in it, I can understand why they're not crazy about it.
Yeah.
But has one of my favorite actors in it, Ethan Suplee, and that dude...
Oh, he's in it?
Dude, he's one of my biggest fucking, like, people to look up to, like, role models. Especially with the way he's turned his life around recently.
Super fit.
Because he was, like... he had to be close to pushing, like,
600.
I was gonna say 500. I'm not surprised if he got close to 6 because
Yeah.
he looked unhealthy. Because I don't know if you ever saw him in American History X.
Yep.
Oh my god,
bad
I think
now.
that was his biggest.
Yep.
Bad.
Yeah,
now
he's bad
he
now.
looks like a brick shit house.
Right.
He would scare me if I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He is a fantastic actor. Like he's in Mallrats.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the dude looking at the boats. He's like, I don't see it. And the little kid's like, it's a scooter. He's like, it's a sailboat, you idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, a scooter is a sailboat, you idiot. He's like, fuck. Oh, hell. So you said you had some other movies.
Yeah, and they're horror movies.
Okay.
One of them was
I
Freddy.
think horror movies are a big one on that.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason. Which, this is another one from my childhood, I guess. But
I love that one too.
yeah, I do too.
I think most people's big thing that they go against the grain, critics-wise, for horror movies is too bloody, too violent. Like
too
Siskel and
sexual.
Ebert.
Too like.
Siskel and Ebert used to go against that stuff all the time. They hated when people would be too gory, too.
And like horror movies about that, like early 2000s, they were like really like sexual, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is
Well,
what it was.
I think one of the only ones that wasn't like overly sexual, excuse me, off the top of my head, is Saw.
No, yeah, it wasn't
The
at all.
first one.
There was
like
like
the
alluded
little
to
story.
it.
Yeah, you had the little bits between the doctor and his mistress. But
And his-
even then, it
his
wasn't.
Asian mistress.
Even then, it was like a
It's not like
30
I haven't
second
done this
scene.
before. She's
There was like a 30-second scene. Yeah, and she's like trying to take it off, and he's like, "No, we're good. Like I was just telling you, we got to stop this."
but it was too late.
Yeah, and like that's the most sex that was in that movie.
Yeah.
Which was nice for a change, especially for a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was a big subplot about why he was there, but it wasn't the whole movie.
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason. There was one line from that is super fucked up though.
Which one?
Oh.
There's plenty, but which
With
one?
the black girl, where he's
Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child.
Dark.
Dark meat.
That's exactly the line. Fucking Kumail Nanjiani has a bit about it.
Does he?
Where he's like, I didn't realize that. he's like, I didn't realize that Freddy Krueger was a racist because he has the option to kill a white girl and a black girl. And he's like, ooh, dark meat.
Dark
And he's like, and somehow everyone's like, ooh, like I was in the theater and everyone was like, ooh, Freddy, that's too far. And they're like, you're okay with child rape and murder, but not racism from this guy. They're like, where do you draw the line?
Right.
But yeah, that line was like
Anything Freddy says almost is like either like sexual, stupid, or racist.
I love Robert Englund as
Yeah,
Freddy though.
yeah.
That remake they did,
Trash. I heard it was trash. Haven't seen it. Didn't watch it because of that.
I watched it in theaters. It was okay. Seeing anybody else in Freddy makeup though, no.
Yeah, not a go.
That's the biggest thing. Honestly, you could have done that movie with Robert Englund and it would have been fine. I'd have been happy with it.
Okay. Robert Englund wants Kevin Bacon to play Freddy.
Oh,
That's what I read.
I could see him doing that because he had that TV show The Following,
Okay.
and he played that pretty creepy, and he did fairly well in that. I would actually like to see him make a comeback.
Yeah, because one of his last movies, what was it called? What was that?
R.I.P.D.?
No, well that one, and then it was like a horror movie. It was like a supernatural movie. Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
It's really stupid. It's like based on Native American like folklore or some shit, like ghosts. Let's see. It's a newer movie. It's like a couple of years old.
That dude had a great filmography though.
He did.
Hollow Man. Like the fact that he was in a movie where he didn't really show his face almost at all.
Right. Let's see.
No, there was a 2018 Tremors movie?
Probably some
It was probably awful.
straight to DVD.
Not The Darkness.
Yes, The Darkness.
Darkness? Okay.
Yeah, it was garbage.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I honestly don't even remember hearing about that. I didn't even know he was in Black Mass, which was the year before that. I remember.
Oh shit, he was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was a FBI agent.
Yep.
And then he was in a movie called Cop Car. Then he had that TV show I was talking about, The Following, that played for 2 or 3 years. I'd love to see him make a comeback because he did great in stuff like Hollow Man. He did great in Tremors. He did great in Footloose. Like
He was good at Death Sentence. I don't know if you ever saw that. That's a James Wan movie. It was the one he did right after Saw. Yeah, Kevin Bacon is like his son plays hockey. And they're coming home from a hockey, but they go to the most ghetto fucking gas station. When he could have drove a little bit further.
Yeah.
And his son gets off in there, and then he takes revenge on the gang.
I do remember that movie.
That's a good movie.
I actually really like that movie.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, what is it, Death Wish?
It was
the
based on Death Wish, yeah.
Okay.
That revenge type of thing.
Yeah.
Killed my family.
Yeah. I feel, and I didn't hear any good things about that Death Wish movie with Bruce Willis.
I heard nothing but bad things.
Oh,
Nothing but bad things.
do you have any other ones that you might be able to?
Yeah, the Rob Zombie Halloween duology.
I will say I love those two.
I do too. They're like, and a lot of people complain because they don't want like a backstory to Michael Myers. He's supposed to be a force of nature, is what he is in the original ones. There's like that little bit of backstory with the kid, but it doesn't go into it like Rob Zombie does.
So I love both versions.
Yeah.
But why can't you have both?
Right.
Like my thing is,
if you're gonna remake it, you gotta like do something original with it, and he did.
yeah. Do you want to go into a movie theater and watch the same thing with a new camera?
Right.
Like
his was like dirty. It was like it felt like real.
yeah.
Although there was that scene in the opening scene when his mom, they're all in the kitchen, his mom's fighting with his like her boyfriend. Just overdid the bad language and shit. That kind of like white trash angle a little bit.
I'm okay with situations like that though, because I feel like that's real. I grew up, not me personally, but I know people and people's situations that are in those types of areas or whatever. That is exactly how it is. Like it's not an exaggeration.
Like almost over the top, but that's how it is.
Where you're like I've watched people get the cops called on them because that's how they talk in front of kids and stuff like that. And you're just like, what in the hell? Like this, it seems like something in a bad movie.
Yeah,
but
because it is trashy.
Yeah,
it is trashy.
But it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
and that's the thing people don't realize. And I think there's a lot of backlash no matter what. You're gonna have people who want to go against Rob Zombie because of because he's Rob Zombie, the way he does his music, and even more so like his spiritual beliefs. Critics are liars if they say that, if some of them don't say that affects their views on a movie or a director.
Yeah.
His whole Satan thing will push people away.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't agree with his views, but I still watch his movies. You can't cloud your.
And he makes his movies for his audience. He has his audience already built in.
Oh yeah.
And that's who goes to see it.
Like I love A House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses, those are like classic horror movies.
I saw Devil's Rejects before House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, okay.
But I went back and watched House of a Thousand Corpses after. I love those movies.
That's like the it's like House of a Thousand Corpses is kind of like the campy horror movie, and then Devil's Rejects is more like realistic.
After I went back and watched it though, I didn't realize who was in that movie.
There's a few people in that movie. Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson, and then they got what's his face?
Are you thinking who I'm thinking?
Chris Hardwick.
Yes, Chris Hardwick.
Yeah,
I was like, I watch you on The Talking Dead like every fucking week back when I still watched The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he was in it. It's crazy.
It blew my mind because like, I watched it, and then I came back and watched it a couple years later after I had started watching The Walking Dead. Didn't know who Chris Hardwick was, and then I saw him and I was like, he looks familiar.
Yeah.
And then watched House of a Thousand Corpses again, and I was like, holy shit!
It's you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, those are classic movies. If anything, they're cult classic movies.
Oh yeah, and like you said, he has a niche audience.
Yeah.
He knows who he's making his movies for.
Yeah. Even though I will say, like he's kind of fallen off a little bit in this past couple, like 31.
Three from Hell wasn't.
3 from Hell was.
It didn't feel necessary.
No. And it was like super cartoony.
Especially if you had someone like Sid Haig on his last legs. Do something
like
with him.
Special.
Yeah. Like, send him off in a good way. Like, you didn't even get him as Captain Spaulding at all.
No. It was just him in the prison, and that was it.
I would have been happy with a scene with him just kind of walking out in front of a bunch of cops and doing like a last stand with his clown makeup on. I feel like that would have been better than off screen. Oh yeah, he got executed.
Yeah, some bullshit like that.
Like it was nice that he was on screen for a second and did like little interviews, but like they could have gone balls to the wall with it. It would have been better.
Yeah, and
he held back. It felt like
he did. Yeah, and I'm a fan. A lot of people aren't. I'm a fan of Lords of Salem. I like it because that's like his art house movie.
I'm not gonna lie, that is the only movie I've ever turned off. Like,
really?
I went back and I finished it. And I didn't realize how close I was to the ending when I turned it off.
Well, you just had enough. You're like,
I felt uncomfortable.
There is some weird shit in that movie.
Like the scene where like the popes are like, the popes and the cardinals are all like jerking off and stuff, and I was like, I can't be watching this. Like this, it just feels wrong. Like I was watching it with my uncle, and he left like a quarter of the way through because he was like, nah, I ain't watching this shit.
Really?
And then I sat until like the last 5 minutes of the movie and didn't realize there was only 5 minutes left, and I was like, I'm not doing this no more.
It's weird. It is definitely weird. There is some like satanic undertones to it for sure.
But watching it, I was in a much different headspace at that time where I was more trying to push stuff I didn't believe away. Whereas like now I'm an adult. I was literally a teenager. So I'm an adult. I have my own opinions, and if I'm that worried that watching something like that is going to change my opinion, then I'm not that strongly convicted in what I believe in anyways, so it's not.
Yeah, because we were 18 when it came out.
Yeah, we were just graduating.
Yeah, I loved it the first time I watched it. I sat through it by myself at home. I was just watching it. I'm like, nice.
I'm like,
I like this shit.
I love that, like, those movies that are, like, creepy. And, like, I love movies that make you think, like, afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, about your own life.
Yeah.
And the way you do things in your everyday life, and the way you treat people, or the way you do stuff like that. Because, like, those are the movies that feel like they have more meaning.
Okay.
And that you could literally hold a class and you could have 10 different people giving different opinions that are so off the wall different.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, like I'm trying to think of like really thought-provoking movies. Like you can even go to movies like Blade Runner. Where the directors, the actors, and the writers all have different views of what actually happened in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that is intriguing to me. And as a viewer, being able to create your own version of what's happened is fascinating to me. Because even, you can do that with movies, you can do that with music. Like, best example I can think of for music is Wake Me Up When September Ends.
Okay.
Everybody, for the longest time, even people to this day, still think that it's about 9/11. It makes sense. It came out shortly after, but it's about his dad dying, and it bothered him for the longest time. And then he's like, as an artist, you realize that
Interpreted different.
everyone, and it can help people get through things.
Yeah.
So, it's always, art in any form is nice in that way.
Yeah.
So, stuff like that has always intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we definitely went over our hour here, so I think that's probably a good place to stop. So, if everybody wouldn't mind just following us, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that, we'd really appreciate it. The big one that we're really trying to push right now is our YouTube. We gotta get our subscribers up. So if you click on the link to this video, and if you have a minute to watch it and all that, just please hit the subscribe button on our channel. We'll have shorter videos coming out soon. We'll get our skits going. Meeting up with everybody, especially when Nate lives all the way out in the Springs.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And I get worried sometimes.
Yeah. But we'll get all that sorted. This is our first year, so there's going to be a lot of hoops to jump through. We have our normal jobs. We have all that. So please hit the subscribe. We're going to have other short videos, our news show, our list videos, us reviewing each other's challenge movies we give each other. Ultimately, we're in this just to have some fun, and hopefully you guys can tag along and have some fun with us. So until next time, I'm Anthony Stevens.
Damian Leyba, and wash your hands.
Please.
Peace.